Good evening, everyone. This is Jonathan J. Dog Letterman, and you're tuned into WRPBI TV and the Anything Bucket. Tonight in our studio, we have a healthcare expert. She helps you with managed care. She'll help you with advocacy for your loved ones. She is the president and CEO of Hired Hearts. Please welcome Miss Karen Greene to the Anything Bucket. Karen, welcome.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. It's a pleasure.
And I'm very excited that you're here and that you took time out of your evening to be with us here on the Anything Bucket, because managed care for our loved ones is very important. And a lot of times, people of my age, 48 and older, our parents are getting older if we're lucky enough to still have them here, and they get sick and we don't know where to turn and we don't know what to do. We're not well versed in what the hospital has to do and what we have to do. So we look for someone like yourself at Hired Hearts. And I was hoping you could tell us a little bit about Hired Hearts, how you got started, and what you offer clients through Hired Hearts.
Well, I started the company several years ago. There were a lot of people that were coming in and they didn't know where to turn. They didn't know what resources were available to them. I worked in an orthopedic office, and they were more complex cases, older people, and the families were concerned and they lived far away. So it seemed like a natural fit to step in and be an advocate and try to coordinate services and make sure that they were in the best facilities, getting the best care possible.
And who better to turn to than somebody who's been there, done it, with experience. Absolutely. You're down here in South Florida. You know the market if the loved one's down here. You know, for somebody coming in from Boston or New York or Connecticut or as far away as California, it's difficult to maneuver and know what's down here. And because we do have a very large senior population in South Florida, it seems like assisted living facilities are popping up everywhere. 55 plus communities are being built and are on the rise. And if you could tell us a little bit about how one can maneuver through the system utilizing your services.
Well, I take it from a nursing background, and I think that's critical because people have multiple complex issues and they don't know what the right setting is for them. Do they need to be in a higher acuity setting? Do they need to be in a more independent setting? Do they need private caregivers? Do they need to be independent with just some support services? So I'm able to go in, create a plan, and then help implement that plan.
And from what I gathered off of the information on your website and also through your brochures and your literature, is that you run the gamut. Yes. From the person that just needs assisted living facility that can be independent, all the way to somebody that might be suffering from dementia or Alzheimer's. And if you could tell us a little bit about what it's like to work with those patients, the ones that have the mental capacity but are, ailing, that might have the heart issue or the lung issue or the feet issue, or those that might be confined to a wheelchair, but they still have the mental capacity to communicate and be somewhat helpful in the care they're receiving.
It's difficult because a lot of times their friends don't want to see the frailty and they alienate them, so they're feeling left out, and so there's a social impact as well as their own medical complex issues. And we really try to quarterback the entire issue to help make it a better environment for them, whether it be different support groups, different social environments. There are elder bullies, and sometimes people can be ostracized and not allowed into their environments and their communities and their play groups, so to say.
And that's unfortunate. It's a good thing you said that you quarterback them through the process. And if you could help the viewers in quarterbacking them through the process and helping them to score a touchdown, how can you do that? If, say, I came to you and I said, I have this issue. My dad has heart ailments and he needs to be in an assisted living facility, and I don't know the questions to ask. Can you help me out?
Right. From step one would be looking at what the client needs, what the best facility would be, maybe the best doctors, maybe tweaking their medication, maybe bringing in support services like a Medicare agency, changing how they sleep, their eating habits. Little things can create a huge improvement. And you may not even need an assisted living. We always want to go least restrictive environment. That's the goal. So we only do a bigger placement if it's really needed.
And that's great how you peel back the onion and ask the right questions.
Yes.
But what are some of the questions they should be asking you, Karen?
What they would ask me is what the best facilities are. The nose. You know, when you walk into a facility, you do the smell test first. I can help negotiate a better rate for someone if they're moving into a facility. You know, I have no financial gain in it other than working with the clients, so it's very much me advocating for the client at all times.
It's going to bat for that client, making
Absolutely.
sure they have the best, and a lot of times having that third party like yourself who knows, you know, what the facility is working with and what their margin might be, so you can say, hey, listen, you know, can you give my client a break here? You know?
Absolutely. You know, there are some places that have more negotiating room than others. Off-season is better than in-season. You never want to get sick in season. You'll spend a lot of time in the emergency room, and, you know, places are full. It's difficult for placement, so.
Right. Well, hopefully nobody ever does get sick and need your services, but when they do, it's great to know that you're there.
We are an advocate, strong advocate.
And I know you have a lot of success stories. I've read a few of them, and I was hoping you could share with the viewers some of the success stories, and also if you can give the viewers a positive message.
We had recently, this past year alone, we had 2 clients. Both the facilities and hospitals wanted to put them on a hospice. We were able to take them, get them to the right doctors, the right hospitals, the right facilities, and they are both doing beautifully well, and the families are just thrilled. My positive message would be, my interest is your best interest, and we always will strongly advocate for you. I'm a nurse care manager, I'm a professional guardian, I'm the president of the Palm Beach County Guardianship Association. I am on the hoarding task force for Palm Beach County, and I am a strong advocate and always will be.
And that's a whole nother subject for another show. Yes. About hoarders, and hopefully we'll be able to have you back on down the road to discuss that and how to combat that, because that's a major issue amongst the senior population.
Yes.
And most importantly, if somebody wanted to utilize your services and find out more about you, how could they do that?
They can reach me at my website, hiredhearts.com. They can reach me at Karen Greene at hiredhearts.com, would be my email address, and certainly by phone. I'm always available. We are an emergency service, so 24/7.
And ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Karen Greene. And if you want to have Karen Greene, the lady with a big heart who's on your side, visit her at Hired Hearts. That's HIREDHEARTS.com. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, this is Jonathan J. Dog Letterman reminding you to stay positive by putting your heart into everything you do.